Hey everybody, this is Logan. Welcome to my factory. It's kind of a work in progress right now, but working on it. Today we are going to do a basic tutorial on a one factory line. So right after this short break, we'll get right into it. Okay, so one line, we're going to take some hoppers first. And we're going to make this an ammunition line, something everybody needs. So I'm going to go ahead and set 3 hoppers. And the hoppers all depend on how many you need, how many items. But this is a pretty easy, basic way to sort everything. Now you'll make sure that you kind of square these up, because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that the hoppers drop their items directly on top of your factory line. So once you have your 2 in place, I'm going to go ahead and set a 3rd and line it up. Do a little bit of eyeballing, and then we'll go ahead and start setting our conveyor lines. Now what I like to do is I like to look straight down it, just so I can make sure the conveyor lines are going to be the exact. And then putting that conduit to the left hand side on the conveyor belt that's a elevated power conjunction, that'll make sure that your conveyor lines are running in the right direction. Line some conveyors up on behind it so items can drop from the hoppers onto the conveyor line. And then we'll remove this one real quick. And we're going to make this an ammunition plant. So we'll add in our ammunition plant. And then we'll go ahead and put the conveyor belt with the elevated power junction. And then we're going to do a, let's see, we'll do a conveyor storage at the end of it. You can dump it into a bathtub if you want. Sean's crib. Now the last part of this is out of the conveyor section. We're going to look for the trip wire switches, and we want to make sure we get the switches for what we're going to do here. We're going to connect both of those tripwire switches to the elevated conduit. And then we're going to add in a logic node. So this logic gate that we're going to use is going to be an AND, which means when both of those tripwire switches are on, we're going to have them open up the hoppers. And the reason why is you don't want to over encumber your ammo plant. What I found doing mass quantities of ammunition and guns and armor, you can jam these up and nothing will happen. It'll just be sitting there. So it's best if you do it all in moderation. Next part that you're going to need is a computer. And then after a computer, I like to throw in a kill switch, just in case I happen to put my fingers on the line. You know, you want to be able to make sure somebody can stop it for you. So we're going to go from our power source to the computer, and then from the computer to the switch, and then from the switch to the conveyor line. And the conveyor line goes ahead and starts up, and you can notice the only thing that's not in operation are those hoppers. And the reason why is that logic node is in the off position right now. So if we turn both of these on and we look back towards the hoppers, we can see that the hoppers are now open. Now if we turn one off, and then now the hopper is closed. So we're going to just want to make sure that both of those are either on or off. So everything's good, everything's all lined out. Now all we need to do is fix some things on the terminal. First we want to set the ammunition that we're going to make, and this time around I'm going to make some 308 rounds. And 1 copper, 1 lead, 1 fertilizer. Hence the need for the 3 hoppers. Now I'm going to get into the hopper itself, and I'm going to set the output for the timer. And I'm going to go ahead and set that to 4 seconds. And this should give us enough time of where it will only push one item out every 4 seconds. Make sure it goes ahead and takes my exit out of the computer just to make sure. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to go in and set the force. I like to set the force at about a 5. The reason being is sometimes items will get jammed up in the hopper itself. So if you give it a little bit extra push, it doesn't seem to jam, and things will hang right on the lip. But I think everything's good to go. We're going to go ahead and turn off the switch. Okay, everything's powered off, and we'll go ahead and load up these hoppers. I went ahead and had some pre-measured out ingredients, and I'll put each type of those ingredients into one hopper. And our fertilizer in the next, and lead into our final. Everything lines up, and should be able to throw the switch. Our conveyor line goes ahead and turns on, and now we can activate the tripwires. And I'm going to go ahead and just prime it with a single set. Now turn this one off and the other, and that should be enough to activate the ammo press. And then turn on both switches, and the hopper opens back up again. And it looks like everything's going to work. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Been fun making them. It's pretty easy once you get a grasp of it. If this has been any help to you, like and subscribe, and I'll make some more. Appreciate it.
This afternoon, today's high is 57 degrees. Tonight, your high cover with a low of 30.